Sorry about that. I had to click on something. I'm waiting on somebody here. Let's see. How am I supposed to do this again? Takes a minute to get used to this crap. Let's see here. Okay, so today is going to be the Sceptical Scotsman, where we're playing. Let's see, where we're going to be talking about politics. I'm trying to remember how to get the backstage thing done here. Add to stage. Takes me a second to do this shit. Are you there?
I'm here.
Goody here. Good thing you've been joining us now here in the land of the green here. Okay, as I was starting up, we may have comments on YouTube. I let everybody know that we were on StreamYard tonight too. I'm guessing this is going to be roughly about an hour long. I don't want to get too deep because tomorrow I will be live streaming through on YouTube through StreamYard the State of the Union. Now, is that something you're going to be interested in sharing commentary with me or not?
Yes. And
Okay,
I will
I'm
say
asking
this,
you
the news
because the what?
the news I was talking you about the the White House has been coordinating with 20 Republican senators, 20 Democratic senators, plus 10 Democratic congressmen and 10 Democratic Congress people. It's a
Okay.
bill to ban TikTok in the United States, and that bill goes up for a vote in both houses tomorrow.
I don't think banning TikTok is the way to go right this second. Like all the people who are trying to ban TikTok have family and
Yeah.
friends on TikTok. I mean, if you're wanting to piss off an entire generation, sure, cancel TikTok. TikTok doesn't matter that much to me.
Yeah.
But there's a bunch of young people who don't want to have a job, or at least not a regular job. They want to make stupid ass videos and idiotic content and live off of that. And when they hit 40 or 50 years old, look at how stupid they were 30 years ago.
Yeah. Well, apparently the White House is spearheading this bill, and it's a bipartisan bill in both houses because both houses feel that since TikTok, that they say TikTok is owned by a Chinese company, and they feel is collecting data on Americans, it cannot be allowed to be in America. So this bill that they're working on will go for a vote tomorrow in both houses. It's
Okay, and aside from that, do
it's
you realize a chunk of your cheek is missing?
yeah, that's my you know
I didn't know if
yeah
you knew that or not.
that's the green screen.
That green screen sucks.
Oh,
It's cutting off a huge chunk of your face. But
but I wanted to show you. I got a hold of that mandate for leadership. I got a hold of the PDF. I figured we could go through not all of it, but just like a little bit of it. And get your thoughts, get my thoughts.
Well,
Because
the issue with the Project 2025 is that it seems to be hooked on this Nietzschean thing of, well, we need it done our way to do anything properly, and the way they're suggesting has already been tried.
I'll show you the first like three pages. I'm not going to read all the pages, but I'm just going to highlight some very concerning areas.
Oh, I'm sure you will. Just like I'm sure tomorrow is going to be a very, very eventful evening, because we have to sit through possibly a 2-hour speech.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's why we're reviewing the politics now.
Yeah. Number one, restore the family as the centerpiece of American life and protect our children. Number two, dismantle the administrative state and return self-governance to the American people. Number three, defend our nation's sovereignty, borders, and bounty against global threats. Number four, secure our God-given individual rights to live freely, what the Constitution calls the blessings of liberty.
Okay.
What do you think? What do you think about those first four?
I think they have their own issues. Like, for instance, how yesterday we were talking about charges of insurrection and whatnot like that, and you pointed out to me that Republicans are trying to flay illegal immigrants with the moniker of
Insurrectionists.
When the illegal aliens aren't actually doing anything that could even come close to being described as insurrection.
Yeah.
Like, literally, the definition of insurrection is not what the Republicans are saying it is, which is truly a stupid thing to do. You know what I'm
saying? It's like it says, today, the American family is in crisis. 40% of all children are born to unmarried mothers, including more than 70% of Black children. There is no government program that can... Now, listen to this part. You're going to laugh. There is no government program that can replace the hole in a child's soul cut out by the absence of a father. Fatherlessness is one of the principal sources of American poverty. Crime, mental illness, teen suicide, substance abuse, rejection of the church, and high school dropout. So many other problems government programs are designed to solve.
That's a wet dream wish list. That's like when do you recall? Well, you might not, because you were a part of that bandwagon. Do you remember the anti-gay marriage bandwagon?
Yeah.
Because if I recall correctly, you were at the front. You were at the front of the line back in the day, mind you, against gay marriage and whatnot. And every time somebody pointed out they had higher rates of this, that, and the other, like they said that children who were part of a family that was two mothers or two fathers was 46% more likely to commit suicide or turn to drugs.
Yeah.
Where did they get those statistics? They made that shit up.
Oh yeah, they did.
And for me, that's why when you're pointing out the stuff that they're doing, and it's like watching a Trump supporter video for me, where these people come on and they ask decent questions of Trump supporters, and then when they flat out stump the Trump supporters like, I got other stuff to do, I'm being called. No, you're not. You're trying to evade the question. Why is common sense such a hard thing to come by when you're a conservative Republican at these rallies? It's like your brain turns to mud Well, it's a mob mentality. It might be, but you do have a brain for a reason. Like, it's insane. I don't understand it at all. But then again, I was taught by my Republican mother and Republican father to question, read, and make my own damn mind up about things. So that's what I do.
Yeah.
And since I'm an independent now, I can now bash both parties and point out their flaws and their strengths, which serves me better in the long run. Okay, you sent me.
The next conservative president must make the institutions of American civil society hard targets for woke culture warriors. This starts with deleting the terms sexual orientation and gender identity.
Hold on, you're cutting out, dude. What?
Okay. The next,
like your face is still frozen in what it was. So what the hell's going on with your side?
Right. The next conservative president must make the institution of American civil society hard targets for woke culture warriors. This starts with deleting the terms sexual orientation and gender identity, diversity, equity, and inclusion, or DEI, gender equality, gender equity, gender awareness, gender sensitive, abortion, reproductive health, reproductive rights.
You're cutting out again. What are you doing wrong?
I'm not doing nothing wrong. I was trying to share my screen. Basically, they want to take anything refers to gender identity, gender equality, sexual orientation, reproductive out of every federal rule.
Okay, so we're just gonna talk for the time being. We don't need a picture. I don't need to read along with what you're doing right now. So,
okay, but yeah, they want to take anything that refers to gender, sexual orientation, DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, reproductive health, reproductive.
Okay, can I interject just with a little bit of common sense?
Yeah.
You can see your screen keeps on freezing. I don't know why. Okay, here's a real simple solution. You don't need every woke fucking terminology there is. I say go George Carlin and cut the shit. You have a sex. You have a sexual orientation. We don't give a fuck what you identify as. Because what if somebody identifies as Jeffrey Dahmer? Cut the other politicized gender identity bullshit. It's sex and sexual orientation. Your gender identity is something that's in the gray matter your fucking brain folds that I don't need to know about. I don't need to know that you're having sex with like 4 gay guys in a gangbang. I don't care. You're not doing it to me. I don't need you to, well, I'm proudly gay and we have gangbang. I don't need to know that. Your private bedroom life, as long as it's not with a child or an unconsenting mentally challenged person, what do I care? As long as they're consenting adults, what do I give a crap, right?
Yeah.
So adding shit like gender identity and all this is like, no, pick 12 of the most random people you can. If they all look the same, you're not doing the picking right. If they all look completely fucking different, you've probably done something right as far as picking out 12 random fucking people. Like you get 12 guys who look like me, and then say, well, this is a broad spectrum of people. If we all look the same, who's going to fucking believe it?
Yeah.
You get me on with some guy who's got a Chiquita banana dress on and a 2-foot-long beard, a full beard, with a mustache and a pierced earring, with a fucking fruit hat on. Do you think that guy's going to think like me?
No.
Most people would guess that he doesn't think like me at all, right?
Right.
That guarantees that people will buy that it's more random and culturally diverse and sexually diverse than what a normal talk, right?
Oh yeah.
So when you're talking about inclusivity and all this other crap, no, what they're trying to do is overly complicate it, just like the LGBT community is doing currently. And I mean that in a sincere, overbrained way. You see, you don't need to have sexual orientation, gender identity, and all this other crap. What's between your legs and who you want to sleep with is compared to what's in between your legs. That's what you need to know,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And your ethnicity. Beyond that, who gives a shit? Okay, I'm a 63-year-old black gay male who likes to have sex with other men. Okay, we get that. That's enough of an identifier. We don't need to know that you splish splash into bisexuality. We don't care, because that's part of your private bedroom life with another consenting adult, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, right off the bat, they're going after, they're gender politicking their own policies the same way that Gen Z is, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they're wanting to wipe all that stuff out of every federal rule.
Well, first of all, we don't need the 27 letter acronym that some people believe we should have. It's like list all the letters. No, 4 letters is perfect, and everybody can understand those.
Yeah.
You don't need LGBTQIA plus. I'm sorry, YMCA didn't catch on because they decided to spell the whole YMCA acronym out. It works because it's an acronym. YMCA. Let's see who the hell's trying to text me now. Sorry, that's my phone going off. I had to unlock somebody's bathroom for some weird reason. Yeah, that was my boss telling me thanks. But anyway, what irritates me right now is because you said that they were trying to get rid of inclusivity and all this other shit, right?
Yes. Yes.
Well, here's the issue with saying they're trying to get rid of inclusivity. I have a problem with the terms they're using, just like I have the problem with the terms that Gen Z is using. They're trying to use boomer terms. Gen Z is trying to use the same terms in for their own generation and just spice them up. Excuse me. Now the issue therein is they're both using the exact. Okay, baby boomers want to do away with all that. They want to know what's your race. Problem is we're all the human race, so they want to know your ethnicity. You know, black, white, Asian, whatever. Then they want to know, do you have a vagina or a penis? Very simple question. Then they want to know whichever one of those, whichever one you have physically, which do you like on your partner? That tells you a lot right there. Your sexual orientation, boom, done. And not just demisexual or sapiosexual or any of this other crap. Lesbian, gay, bisexual, or trans. If you're not, you can fit everything into one of those 4 letters. Can you not?
Yeah.
And for those people who say, "Well, I'm queer," okay, do you like? If you're a girl and you say you're queer, well, I'm not a girl. Your between your legs says differently. If you have a period every month, biology says, "Fuck you, you're a girl." You know.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying there aren't other genders, but that's a brain matter issue, not a. It's not a concrete issue of sex or sexual orientation. It's a really clouded thing. That's why I don't do the whole gender shit. When people say, "Well, I was assigned this gender at birth," if you have a penis, you're going to get assigned as a male. If you have a vagina when you're born, you're going to be assigned female because that's the genitalia you have. Science tells us this. Because there's only, even according to my podcast from a while back, there's only 4 genders. Male, female, asexual or having no sexual organs, or you're hermaphrodite. You have both sets of sex organs. It's the only four possibilities genetically that there is.
Yeah.
So if you got a penis, but you look like but if you look like if your features show that more of a woman than a man, well, you've got some you've got some wiring issues, but you don't have any genetic issues. It's your brain's not wired the same as your body was set up for, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not here to invalidate or validate anybody's gender identity, because I really don't play that bullshit. You know me, I don't do that crap.
Yeah.
I got thrown out of a group yesterday on Facebook.
The BBW group?
No, it was one of my poly groups. I'm in this group, and I made a factoidal based rant about how when a woman posts, she can be fully clothed and gets hundreds of likes and comments, mostly thirsty, salty guys and other bisexual women trying to get a girlfriend. And guys who post, unless they're super hot, they typically don't get any attention. They barely get attention at all. I was pointing that out, and the first person that pops up, this chick with dyed platinum blonde hair and blue eyes, looked to be about my age or so, 40 to 45, right?
Yeah.
Tries going off and saying I sound like a fucking crybaby, and I pop up to her. Well, if women on here in this group would stop being OnlyFans content creators and be the woman they're claiming to be, instead of just being, having two pictures up on their profile, no information, and the two pictures are them in swimming suits or just their face shot and then a behind their body shot, which we can't identify as them. But this chick looks like a girl or looks like a woman. And this person's name, I believe, was Chelsea. Looking like that and having that kind of a name, what are you going to call this person?
OnlyFans or porn star?
What?
The OnlyFans or porn star?
No, I'm saying is if this person looks like a girl and has a name like Chelsea or Christine or whatever, what are you going to call this person? An it?
No, you're going to call them by their name.
If you're trying to refer to them in an argument, they're arguing the pro-female point of view because they're most likely an OnlyFan or a porno star or some sort. You refer to that person as, hey, lady, we don't care. I don't care what you're doing, but stop being one of those oppressive women who only back other women for no fucking reason at all. Her response back was, fuck you too, and I'm not a woman. It's like, do you have a vagina? Do you have breasts? Were you born that way? If the answer to all three is yes, you a woman, motherfucker. You might want to lift your mic up closer to your mouth. Yeah, move it up there. Now talk.
Hello.
See, you see what I'm saying? You were barely catching with it way the hell down here. You can hear me pretty well, right?
Yes.
Well, see, that's because I'm projecting. Like, I learned how to do this in choir class, and then in drama in high school, and in choir in high school in my junior and senior year when I was doing choir. And it appears there might be somebody viewing. Let me check YouTube real fast.
What were you doing? A soprano?
Soprano? What the hell?
In
What kind of weird crap are you talking? Do what?
Did you sing soprano in choir?
You know damn well I didn't sing no damn soprano. You know damn well I didn't sing that high.
Maybe when somebody racked you, you might.
No, even then it was more. I sounded more like Joe Pesci when I got kicked in the nuts. Hey, motherfucker! You know, really high pitched, but not that damn high pitched. But yeah, what's sadder is back when I was in high school, I hit puberty and I went from singing like Michael Jackson all the time, singing all those angelic with that angelic voice, to my fucking voice went to Mo from The Simpsons for like 2 years while I'm getting my voice correct, while I'm getting my voice down. It was like, "Hey there, angels in heaven." I'd go grovelly because my voice was changing, and then we'd hit the bass note. You know, we'd be singing Agnus Dei. It would literally like switch in the middle of a word while I'm pitch changing just slightly, and I went to bass. And then when I got done with puberty, I was a bass singer. And then I spent the next from the Iron Claw down. I'm downloading movies too. I went from singing Michael Jackson to I could hit Barry White notes, but from 1993 all up till about the time I was about 27 or so, I tried to keep going up. I was trying to sing like Casey and JoJo. Bass singers don't sing that high.
So what do you think about? So what do you think about Nikki Haley dropping out of the race?
Is it me or did we both feel that coming?
Yeah, because I mean, she did say that she would stay in until Super Tuesday, and she kept her word on that.
Yes, but I feel that we lost something by her leaving the race. And what's funnier is up until now, during this entire process, Trump wouldn't do a debate at all with anybody, not even Joe Biden. And now that he's won Super Tuesday, pretty much, we don't actually know completely for sure for like another day or two.
Yeah.
And we honestly don't know. It's like the presidential thing. Everybody wants it to be announced that night. It's like, no, tough shit. They don't. Some places don't start counting the mail-in voting and the absentee ballots until the day of the vote. And only when the polls close are they allowed to open those and count those.
Yeah. Now, Nikki Haley did win Vermont last night, but that was the only state she won. And it pissed Trump off royally. That he was wanting to sweep Super Tuesday, and when he found out Nikki Haley won Vermont, he was pissed.
Well, as you commented before, he's done some relatively retarded things, and like I told you, there are things that we have to do. There are things that we should be doing and things that we need to do. I mean, if somebody wants to vote for Trump at this point, oh, bless your heart. And I mean that in the most sarcastic Southern way possible. So if you know what that means, kudos to you. If you don't, go watch the Southern guy. Like several of his videos, when you hear, "Oh, sweet, that's just so special, ain't it, sweetheart," or whatever it is, there's a couple of phrases that mean, "Are you really that stupid?" Oh, yes, bless your heart. Oh, bless your heart.
And today, Mitch McConnell formally endorsed Trump.
Yeah, I understand why he did it. I don't agree with it. Now, the bitch is number one, the Supreme Court has ruled that states can't take people off the ballot.
Correct.
Even though me and you established last night. Did you bother looking that up? Whether the 14th Amendment was self-acted upon after the Civil War?
Before the Civil War, it wasn't. After the Civil War,
I
it
mean,
was.
after the 14th Amendment was passed, did somebody have to vote on it to get that done?
Uh, Congress does. Congress does not. It is self-executing in some areas, and is self-executing in, and not self-executing in other areas. It's not self-executing in federal elections. It is in state elections.
No. You're dancing around the question now. You're tiptoeing around that bitch like an expert. I'm smarter. Did you read up on the 14th Amendment and the post-Civil War elections?
Yes, and it is self-executing.
Okay. Now, knowing you just said it's self-executing, with what Trump did on January 6th, what does that mean? Come on.
And hold office.
You blurbed out again.
He can't hold office.
What are you doing to mess up?
Nothing.
Your screen froze and you're like, blah, 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 blah.
He can't run for office.
Okay, so you I don't know why you keep messing up. My end's fine. As far as I know, it's fine. I'm blurbing out on you, am I?
No, but you freeze every once in a while. But no, he can't.
Freezing
run
is
for
better than
office,
blurbing
and
right here. Okay, so
But I don't
according to the 14th
I don't
Amendment and
understand.
actions taken on January 6th, the 14th Amendment doesn't need to be voted on because it's self-activating, is it not?
Yes, and I don't know why the Supreme Court decided to rule in his favor.
Because they want the justices, all the conservative justices want him back in office. They want, if they have him in office, at least then they have an excuse to be complete and utter shitheads. They're not acting in the best interests of America, at least in my opinion. And like now that he's been put back on the ballot, and if he wins the immunity case, then we're all screwed. Like, look, we're all screwed. America is going to go down a shithill really fast, and that would be the time when we actually need Taylor Swift to be political for like once in her life. Just be political just this once and keep Trump out of the White House. Me personally, I mean, if there is no other fucking choice but these two old doddering fucksticks, I mean, if there's no other choice, there's no other independents, I just assume right in somebody else.
Now, here's the thing, though. There was this one Democratic candidate that came out of nowhere last night, and he beat Joe Biden in one of the states, and all he did was do his entire thing over Zoom, and he beat Joe Biden in one of the states. Now the Biden administration is taking a serious look at this dude because they think he's a threat to Joe Biden because he beat Biden in one of the states via Zoom. He did his campaigning over Zoom.
I get it. You said it like 4 times now. We get it. He was on Zoom. Cool your heels off for a second. Now, the last time you were on my we were waxing political. Yeah. You were backing RFK Jr. How does that stand now? Now that I've actually made you go look at how he talks and everything.
Yeah, no.
Would you like to explain to the viewers why you're not voting for RFK Jr., though?
Because he looks like he's on death's door, and he acts like he's on death's door. And he talks in a gravelly voice. Yeah, I heard him talk on Jesse Waters last night. He sounded like Froggy from the Little Rascals.
Not Froggy having a stroke, huh?
Yeah.
Or Froggy having a heart attack? Because he sweats profusely when he talks. It's like, dude, that's a recipe. You look like you're having an AFib. Now, what we need, I think what we need to decide as a country is which old doddering fool we'd love to have, because so far it's boiling down. I haven't seen any independent candidates come up as of late. Not anybody worth voting for yet that's got enough traction to do any fucking thing. But, you know, that's the two main parties love to hog the fucking airwaves, space, and time to pollute to try to pollute our brains into thinking that only these two candidates can fix the country, when clearly that's not the case. Now,
no.
With that in mind, how do you see the Republic doing? How do you see the United States faring if Congress becomes more MAGA-centric and we in Congress let Donald Trump just do whatever the hell he wants?
This nation's going to go to hell in a handbasket.
Now, why?
Well, for one, you'll have a president drunk on power, and for two, you'll have a do-nothing Congress and a do-nothing Senate.
Well, because they're telling us they can fix the problems. But just like Texas for the last 27 or so years, it's been Republicans causing the problems and then telling everybody during election years, you get us in there, we'll fix it. It's the same people all the time. Are the problems fixed at all?
No.
So then what gives, right?
Yeah. Just like you have this Democratic senator that's going for Ted Cruz's seat in the general, and
that needs to be taken out of office anyway.
Yeah,
Ted Cruz.
Well, this
every like 20 things that comes out of his mouth is total shit, and you'll have one solid thing that's a good idea. The rest is absolute bullshit.
Yeah, and what this Democratic candidate is anti-Second Amendment. He wants to take everyone's guns in Texas.
Well, technically speaking, and I'm not trying to be an anti-Second Amendment person, but it depends on how you translate the grammar of the Second Amendment. Because a well-regulated militia has already been defined by the Dick Act.
Yeah.
And given that interpretation, because of how much time has passed and we're no longer like doing ground wars like we used to over even a century ago, or we haven't had ground forces fighting on United States soil, at least not like the mainland or anything, in how many decades?
Yeah.
I mean, the last time we had anything close to that was when I believe we had Germans or Japanese infiltrators, and they weren't as widespread and open as you think, but that was in the 40s.
Yeah.
And that's been a long ass time ago. That's like 80 some odd years ago. 80 or 90 years ago. And we're still apparently our Congress still thinks that we're still in the revolutionary times where we're firing a single shot smoothbore musket.
Yeah. I'm going to turn my light on real quick. Hold on.
Go the fuck ahead. It's not like I care. Shit. We got a new lamp. It's got like 4 fucking lights on it. That's why it's so fucking bright here. Yeah, you notice how well lit I am? All the lights are on. Even though I'm going to get a new pack of light bulbs this weekend because we've got more than one bulb burning out. We've had these bulbs since we moved here.
Blue, come on.
But yeah,
Now,
apparently,
here's the question. Do you like Congress? Are you liking the way Congress is doing things now or not, and why? If we're going to talk politics, we got to get down to the base shit.
I hate to say it, but it was running a lot. It was running a lot smoother when Democrats was running the House.
Oh shit!
That shit was actually.
You committed blasphemy. No, I agree.
Shit was actually getting done. They've had the House. The Republicans have had the House since January of last year, and nothing has gotten done.
Well, because they don't want to give anybody anything. They want Trump back in office. That way, they can magically approve everything they want. The problem is if he comes under impeachment again, if Trump gets in office and he gets impeached, they have the wrong part of Congress. They have the wrong part of Congress.
Yeah, just like old Moscow Mitch was saying today, that since he has stepped down as minority leader, he's working with his super PAC to get electable Republicans to fill the 24 Democratic seats that have come up for re-election this year.
And what about all the Republicans retiring?
Oh, that's in Congress, not the Senate. And only 4 Republicans.
The Senate is part of Congress, dumbass. Remember, there is the House and the Senate, the two branches of the two houses, the two forks of government. Now, there's 3 branches of government, and there's 2 branches of the legislative, which is the Congress, the House and the Senate. Yeah, I still remember my civics pretty damn well. Thank you very fucking much.
Yeah. Well, he's with his super PAC, he's trying to find electable Republican conservatives to fill those Senate seats where the people are retiring, and also there's 24 Democratic senators that's up for re-election, and they're fighting for their seats. He's going to try to get Republicans in those seats as well.
Oh, I have no doubt. I'm checking to see if there's any comments via YouTube while we're on live stream, because why not?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I can't see a whole. I'm not seeing a whole lot of anything here. Oh. Ugh. You'd think I could see stuff, but apparently it's a little harder than it looks. No pun intended, of course.
Yeah.
Let me check the actual feed here. I gotta go scroll down a little bit to the actual live feed. We'll see how this pumps out here. Oh,
But yeah, and you've got all these investigations going on into the president.
Yeah, you think he'd worry about that first? You'd think he would. But no, he wants to charge because he knows if he delays and respond and if the Supreme Court rules that he gets immunity and then he gets in the White House, dude, he's going to be there for life. You won't have an election until he dies.
Yes, and he's already promised to throw Joe Biden in jail to sick his Justice Department after.
And Trump was the one who originally weaponized it, and then he's going to go and use that same false claim to say that Joe Biden committed treason, even though Joe Biden didn't commit treason. Joe Biden didn't even break laws. He's just a pissed off sore loser.
Yeah, and apparently they had dueling. Him and Joe Biden and Donald Trump had dueling border visits.
Yeah.
Joe Biden was in Brownsville. Trump was in.
I know they had dueling border visits. They were 300 miles away from each other. I do watch the news.
Well, the border chief.
The TV, but I do pay attention.
Yeah, well, the border chief basically sent a message to Biden. Why are you in Brownsville? That's not where all the activity is happening at. And he said, and this came from the border chief's mouth. Oh, by the way, keep the border patrol out of your mouth.
He said that to who?
He said that he sent a message to Joe Biden to keep his name to keep Joe Biden's name.
He's not allowed to do that. He can actually be reprimanded for doing that. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Because who's the highest boss in his chain of command?
Joe Biden.
Yahtzee! Whoop! Whoop! That's and just like with everybody, like the kids who are now protesting, and going undeclared or whatever over the Israel-Palestine thing. Yeah, the Hamas war, if you want to call it that. What do you think of that movement of voting undeclared, undecided, or whatever the hell it is, uncommitted, whatever? What do you feel about those kids voting like that over that issue?
Well, for one, they could inadvertently give the presidency to Trump if they vote that way on election day.
Okay.
And for two, apparently Joe Biden has been harassed at every campaign stop by pro-Palestinian protesters, calling him Genocide Joe, stating they will not vote for him because he will not cut funding to Israel.
We don't cut funding to Israel based on our mutual friendship with them for many decades, more so than the kids' protest. Hello? You completely froze up. Well, see if
they want the war. They want the war stopped, and
what was
calling him genocide. I don't know. Both of our screens were circling like they were buffering.
That's on your end. Mine didn't do that. You just froze, like literally. Your sound muted and your face froze.
Okay. Well, they are calling him Genocide Joe. They are smearing blood on the walls to the White House gates.
Okay. Now,
and they're yelling the blood is on you.
What do you think the chances are that what they're doing is actually going to have an effect on what's going on over there?
They're not going to affect shit. That's a complete other country. and what's going on over there, they're not thinking that Hamas isn't thinking about, oh, well, we need to stop killing Jews. But if we don't stop, then these stupid ass young people in this country will look at them like they're martyrs.
Well, and another reason why this uncommitted write-in vote makes no sense is because writing in uncommitted just means you're too lazy to go over to Israel and campaign there. What?
Yeah, stand there with your little signs going free Palestine.
Yeah, from whatever to the sea, Palestine should be free. Doing that isn't going to change anything. Sitting here, like if sitting in the middle of this country, like we are, and holding up a sign saying "Free Palestine," isn't going to change a goddamn thing in that area of the world. Just because we're hoping to make a change, it's well more than 5,000 miles away.
Yeah, ceasefire now. Ceasefire
Your
now.
ceasefire bullshit falls on deaf ears because, number one, they are their own country. We're merely their ally. Well, we should do this. No. Hamas started this. You don't care that they've killed people innocently time and time again. Oh, since the 40s. But you'll care about Israel trying to track down Hamas, which hides in the major Palestinian populace. I'm sorry, for all people saying we don't need America's help. If you want the bombing to stop, hand Hamas over. We don't know it. Obviously, somebody does.
Yeah,
right.
And do you know what freaking Joe Biden is doing right now? He has got a temporary ceasefire, and they are airdropping supplies into Gaza for the Palestinians.
And I think that is a penny short and a coat shy of what needs to be done. But personally, I think they need to eradicate Hamas first, because this religious extremism that all these Muslim countries seem to have don't make any fucking sense. Like the ones who come here and then complain. Well, in my country, no. You live here now. This is your country. If you don't want to live here, move back to where you came from. We don't rule with religious law. Well, most of us don't. The conservative Republicans seem to think we need to go to Christian law, which is the same fucking thing as Sharia law. Even though we don't agree with our laws being dictated by religion. And you think what needs to be back in schools, motherfucker? Oh, God? Guess what? That's still Sharia law, stupid. It just goes by a different name. Just like when I was telling you yesterday that In God We Trust wasn't added until the 40s or 50s onto money.
Yeah, and just like you have the Houthi rebels over in Yemen firing rockets at cargo ships that are bound from like Australia and England and Israel and other foreign countries that are headed here that take the way through the Red Sea. Houthi rebels are firing rockets at them to sink them.
That happens in war. You know this.
Yeah.
And
but yet Yemen is getting pissed off at us because we're bombing Houthi strongholds in the middle of their country.
Well, you do know that Yemen has been a stronghold of the Muslim and Islamic faith for decades now, and they really like there for a quick minute under Obama. They weren't so bad. Towards like the end of the Obama administration, they were actual good guys.
Yeah.
And then you get Trump in, and now Yemen's a bad place to go again. Who would have thought? Oh, yeah, that's right. All the Democrats knew that. Stupid. And no, I'm not saying the Democrats are the best politicians on the planet. I'm sure there's plenty of illegal shit going on. I'm sure. I'm absolutely certain of it. The problem is that we, for most of the Democrats, if they're breaking the law, they're hiding it way better. The Republicans are just blatantly breaking laws and be like, well, we're going to do this. Even if it's illegal, we don't care because we're going to rewrite the laws so that it's not illegal anymore. It's like, and the rest of the independents and the Democrats are going, oh, bless your heart. You're just dumb as a feather, ain't you? And then they strike it down and it passes.
I want to hear what you think about this. Kim Jong-un over in North Korea is in the middle of developing a hypersonic intercontinental ballistic missile that can reach America. He's actually doing tests.
Good luck getting past NORAD. Enough said.
Yeah, because he's been doing tests with test launches.
And you remember the last time he was doing test launches?
Yeah.
And literally, I think one of the closest ones he ever got, we had already assigned a missile to blow the shit out of that. To blow the shit out of it if it didn't stop on its course. Luckily, right before we launched, it nosedived into the ocean and exploded.
Yeah.
So the thing they're forgetting is the fact that we have NORAD. We have some of the world's best defensive systems, and Kim Jong-un is trying to keep up with, trying to get up to where we are. The problem is he's still using technology that was made back in the 70s. All those missiles he launched a couple years ago, that was all decades-old technology back when it was regularly used, not when it was first developed, but when it was regularly used.
Yeah, well, he's trying to catch up to our technology, and it's mainly not just him; it's his sister, and I've heard his sister is like worse than him. They're developing a hypersonic intercontinental ballistic missile, and they're developing it to where he could launch it from North. He could. I don't think we need to worry about
that. I don't think we need to worry about that until it becomes an issue. And picking off a random story like that just seems stupid. Now, you told me last night that Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House at the moment, openly and lovingly invited Joe Biden to come speak to them at the State of the Union. Yes. That's where the State of the Union speech usually happens, is on the floor of Congress.
Yes, I know.
And you said that it seems to you that something bad is going to happen. Would you like to make any mild predictions of the last few minutes of this podcast or this live stream?
Well, they were talking. They did a press conference this morning. Mike Johnson and the rest of the MAGA idiots, and they kept bringing up the name of Laken Riley, which was the UGA student that was killed by that illegal immigrant, or quote unquote from Biden, undocumented person. And Mike Johnson actually stood up there at the press conference. He said, "We're going to hear the same typical blowhard stuff coming from Joe Biden." He said, "Mark my words." He said he's not even going to mention Laken Riley in the speech tomorrow night. He said, "But what Mr. Biden don't know is that we have several victims' families that's going to be at the
Now,
State of the Union that we invited.
you're gonna blame Biden for not getting any border security and immigration reform passed, even though when Democrats and Biden came up with immigration reform and border security bills, what happened to those? Remind me again.
Mike Johnson said that they didn't like what was in the bill, and the
Republicans shut it down because they want fucking Donald Trump in the White House signing the bill that would conclusively just play everybody, right? They don't want a solution right now because it doesn't serve them at all to actually propose a bill which does any decency to the problem. They want to make it seem as though any solution that Democrats come up with doesn't cover every little flaw, even if it does, because then that's giving Biden a victory. They don't want that. They want Trump to come in and, I can save everybody. No.
Yeah, so they invited the family of the murdered Laken Riley to the speech tomorrow night. They invited apparently several families that are dealing with what they call the Biden border crisis to the State of the Union tomorrow night. And I mean, and I didn't know nothing about that. They invited all these people until today. That's why I made the statement last night. I smell a setup.
It very well may be a setup. What I'm looking forward to hearing Lauren Boebert and Marjorie Taylor Greene to see if they're going to become the sequel, like they did last year. The Howard team. Because if Republicans don't do it and they're not pushing it, it does not exist, and it's a bad idea. And I read some of the last border bill that they came up with. There were several things that were actually pretty good in that bill.
Yeah, well, the Republicans are wanting their HRES 2, secure the border.
They want their bill put through without questions, no concessions to Democrats at all, and they want Trump to sign it. What they actually want is Trump in the White House signing their bill, putting it into law. That way they can flexibilely do whatever the hell they want. Right or wrong?
Because in this border bill they call it HRES 2, it would basically shut the border completely down, except at ports of entry. It would give ICE agents free and unfettered access to go across the country and start deporting mass immigrants, even the ones that are like working for, that have a job or have a home that's not citizens yet. They're still undocumented. It would give ICE free and unfettered access to basically knock on their door. Whoever answers the door, they would yank them and deport them.
Yeah, they want to do some very stupid, childish, and immature things because that's what they think needs. And like the last couple of TikTok videos I watched from the other day, there are cameras aimed at the southern border at the places where all these immigrants are crossing.
Yeah,
or supposed to be crossing. Nobody's there. You get like 5 people a day through those crossing areas, but it's a border crisis. They're coming in. No, it's fucking hype from the news and the Republicans to make it seem as though there's actual news there. There's no news there. The flood already happened. The flood is already over with. But anyway, we're going to try to set something up. I'm thinking we need to set something up about, 6:30, 6:45 tomorrow? Or no, I got to check what the go-to speech is. Give me a second, I'll look that up. Because different channels do different shit, so.
Yeah.
let's see, Thursday. Yeah, apparently it starts at like 8 on Channel 3, and yeah, pretty much everywhere starts that shit at 8.
And naturally, you're going to have the Republican response from this new Republican senator, and she's supposed to be.
She's supposed to be what? Blurred out again, man. You got to get some home. You need to get some home internet. Watch, he'll tell us he got a phone call next. But yeah, for all my viewers right now, I will be going live. I think about 6:15, so we can so I can chat up whatever the hell we think we're going to see. And as far as the State of the Union and what to possibly expect to be said, it's basically doing the same thing the major channels are, but they're not exactly the same thing. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. If something is false that I know of, I won't fail to chime up and let it be known that it's bullshit, because why not? Oh, now let's see here. But yeah, you'll hear from me. I will be presenting at about 6:45, 6:50. That way, we're not going over too much crap. And I will try to live stream it through here on StreamYard through YouTube. And if you want to watch that, go ahead. I have no problem with that. But I'm going to get off here because it's been over an hour now. We're not trying to go for an hour and a half. See y'all. Have a great night and peace out. So, bye. Peace.